Hello, my little geeks and freaks. Welcome back to my book bowl challenge, where I will go through a massive bowl of books that seems never ending and constantly growing, and hopefully not lose my sanity in the process. Today's book review is on The Ice Kiss by Steele, which is the 6th book in the Mortally Grey Billionaire series. Guys, we are almost through with that series. I'm actually going to pick out some more books today, only because I have a few more books to read. I'm a little ahead with I have a schedule for the books to be posted and the reading, so I'm a little ahead. I just want to have the books so I can start reading, even if I'm still posting the other books, if that makes any sense. So we will do that at the end of the video, which I'm so excited. I haven't pulled out books in a little while, and like I said, the bowl, it's constantly growing, and I'm scared. Now, I know I did say in my last video, or is it the video before that I was trying to go off of scripts, and I was going to just put notes. I haven't had time to put notes. I've been kind of suffering with some issues, and I have not done anything. I'm really behind on a lot of things, to be honest. So today I'm going fully off script. The only thing I have is I had taken pictures while I was reading of like quotes that I highlighted. You can't obviously see it. So I'm going to read those quotes. So that's about the only notes I have. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. We're going off script, guys. Let's see how this works. I'm excited. I think it'll actually make me feel a little bit more like smooth, and like it'll flow, and maybe I won't look so stupid. Sometimes I definitely look stupid, I've noticed, but I do ramble a lot, so that could be a good or bad thing. So I guess we'll see. We're gonna keep figuring things out until we get the right thing. I have so many books to go through until I can perfect it, you know? Anyway, so as I said, we're in the 6th of 7 book of the Mortally Grey Billionaire series. So like I said, we're almost done. It's not as good as The Wrong Wife, which was the last book. It's not as bad as the other books, but it's not as good as that one. So this book is essentially about a guy named Rick, who is, he's an NHL player. He plays hockey, kind of. I mean, you've seen him through the previous series, through the previous books in the series, and he was mentioned to be in the military at one point. He was a security guard. He's kind of done a little bit of everything, but yeah, he used to be an NHL player, and then he was asked to be back. They started a team or something. It's plot. So he is the captain of the new hockey team that they're in. I believe they're called the London Ice Kings. Cool. He doesn't meet her in this book. They've had a bit of back and forth kind of interaction for a few books since Celine and Declan's book, but he is having conflicting feelings with Georgina. They call her Geo. She is the PR manager. When it was Celine and Declan's book, Rick was Declan and Celine's bodyguard, and Geo was Declan's PR manager. In this book, he's the captain of the NHL team, and she is the PR manager of the entire team. So yes, there's a lot of hand movements today. Sorry. It helps me think, especially if I don't have notes to go on. It definitely helps more. So they seemingly hate each other, but they don't. Like, obviously, like every other book in this series, it's very copy-paste. It's a love-hate relationship. Enemies to lovers, as always. Literally every single book, and it's kind of getting annoying and boring because they're not very well written, and it's very much the same thing. Like, I already know what to expect almost in these books. So anyway, there's like this weird tension between them, but there's also an attraction shock, same way as always, and they end up having like a whole sharing a bed thing, and it works, I guess. My only issue is like they're struggling through the entire book to like figure out their relationship and their dynamic, to fight their feelings but also not fight their feelings, and then it's as every other book, it's always jumbled, it's chaotic, and there's things kind of thrown in randomly into the story that make no sense or had no business really being there. Like, it was just so randomly dumped in, and then it was used as the main plot point from halfway through the book to the end of the book, and I didn't understand that, and I didn't like it. There was like a small hint, but it was already too late for that hint to be dropped and then for the bomb to be dropped. That's what I didn't understand, so that made it very off-putting. Unlike with The Wrong Wife, where you actually get a lot of hinting at Knight's issues you don't get that here. It's very much like, oh, like I can't like somebody like her, but I want her, and oh, I just got out of a really bad relationship and he's exactly like the type of guy that I should stay away from, but I want him. And then they're together, and then like they fake an engagement, and then all of a sudden, like after he takes her V card, yes, that's the other thing. Like all of these adults, these women, most of them have their V card after I think the second book. All of them are virgins, which I don't have an issue with, but it's like the way it's described sometimes is also a little annoying. Like they are innocent, but they're not innocent, and oh, I didn't know you were innocent, even though I knew you were innocent. Very jumbled. I'm sorry. Even my whole like explanation is jumbled. After all that, then he like kind of drops this hint that there's like an issue, and he has something against her. And then it starts to become the main plot point that now it's, oh, well, it's not actually that he has feelings and this just happened. He planned this whole revenge thing for her, which is stupid because, again, none of this was hinted at until it was already kind of established, which it was annoying. It was stupid. And the reason he blamed her, or the reason he wanted revenge, I mean, I guess I can kind of get it, but it also didn't make sense because then he would need revenge against Declan, and that didn't happen either, although he kind of claims it did. But again, it was kind of randomly thrown in. And then he realizes he made a mistake, tries to get her back, and then he goes through something that causes him grief and then pushes her away and then tries to get her back again. It's just, it's very back and forth. Very back and forth. I didn't hate it as much as I hated the first 4 books. 5 was definitely the best so far. 6 is the second best, but it still wasn't good. I definitely did not like it nearly as much as The Wrong Wife, and I didn't love The Wrong Wife to say that it was amazing. It was okay. The storyline made me emotional. It didn't make me love it, but at least it redeemed a little bit of that jumble and chaos that I hate dealing with. This book, I like the characters. I think some of the reasonings, and again, the random inclusion in the plot was really stupid and unnecessary. I think it was a good plot point in a way, even though it didn't make sense completely. Like, I think it was a good way for his character to kind of go through his thing and then take his head out of his ass. But it just shouldn't have been dropped like so far into the book. That should have been something mentioned in the beginning, not after things were established. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I do have a thing with like, I don't mind. I actually really like the whole virgin trope. I just don't like the way they go about it in this book. It seems like every single one of them are virgins, but they all act like they've been doing it a long time. And then they're all surprised. Like the guys are all surprised when they're virgins. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And like Geo specifically in this one's like, I'll never tell him I was a virgin. And then like literally the next paragraph, she was like, well, I mean, I was a virgin. And I'm like, can you make up your mind? Just once, please? So that's definitely what bothered me. I also noticed the last 2 books, Steele put like zodiac signs in the beginning of the book for the 2 characters. I don't know why that started. I don't really care per se. It doesn't really provide me with much for these characters. Like the zodiacs are never really mentioned by the characters, so it's just kind of like, these are their characters. This is, I don't care. Also, the author seems to have this weird thing with doing catchphrases, or like phrases that she uses a lot that really shouldn't be catchphrases for this, and they're just kind of cringy. Like, for instance, best-selling fiction award novels. That's a lie and a half. So, remember, like with Cade in The Agreement, he was very weird about his emotions, and he always kept calling it emo shit, like the entire time. Like that's always what he called it. They all have these weird like phrases that they keep returning to. In this one, it seems to be mofo. I feel like, I don't know when this book was written, but I feel like mofo isn't really a thing we say as much anymore. Like that's way gone. And it was very cringy because I'm like, these are adults, like in their 30s. And it's odd. I don't know. It was very weird. It was very cringy. It made me think I was dealing with like high school. It was weird. I like the whole idea that Rick is dealing with his own trauma and guilt, and Geo is dealing with her own like trauma from her childhood and from her ex-boyfriend. And I like seeing how Rick defends her against her ex-boyfriend. So that's nice. It makes me kind of like the book. It's just, again, the jumbled chaos really, it takes something from having potential to be really good, and it takes it all the way back to like, I'm just tolerating it. So that I wasn't a fan of. Also, Also, these motherfuckers kissed with their eyes open. Son of a... One thing I had forgotten to mention in this book that really aggravated me is at the very beginning, Gio is reading or listening to an audiobook, and it's a smut book, and it is a book that is written by the author who wrote this book, which is absolutely cringy. It made me not want to read the rest of the book, and that was just the first page. So it definitely was cringy and off-putting to hear Gio say, oh, I'm reading this book by Steele, and it's amazing, and it's better than this. And I'm like, oh, please stop fluffing your ego. That definitely got to me. And I just had to mention that, and I'm upset that I didn't mention it in my video. My overall, like, thoughts about it is, like, I kind of like seeing Gio's thoughts on things. Like, she definitely feels like she has to be perfect, and I kind of like seeing that. I do like that she is very, like, she tries to keep to, like, a schedule and details and stuff, and I can kind of relate to her and get her on a way, because sometimes when I have this schedule and I mess up, I genuinely freak out, because I'm like, this is what I planned for myself. Like, now it's all over the place, and I feel like I'm scrambling. So I kind of get that, and it was nice to see that from her. And it was really sad to see, like, her emotions on family and relationships. So I did enjoy that part. It was odd. One thing I didn't understand is she was working for Declan. Is she still working for Declan? It wasn't mentioned anymore. I guess not, because the agency she worked at, she quit, but couldn't Declan still hire her as a PR manager? I don't know. Declan, Celine, Cade, and Abby weren't really mentioned in this book. Whereas usually all the characters have been mentioned a good amount of times, except, like, from the first two books, they're kind of mentioned sparingly. But this book didn't have really much of the characters of the series. They had characters from the previous series that I found out about that exists, that I believe is in my book bowl, and characters that haven't had their story yet, which I believe is the next book. We'll see those characters, and Knight and Penny. So I don't mind that, but I just want to know, like, what happened with her working for Declan, and is she still working with Declan while she's working with the London Ice Kings, because you can have multiple clients, right? I don't know. And as I mentioned, I really don't like that it all feels very, like, everything feels from the entire series very much the same. Fake relationships, fake engagement, fake marriage, fake whatever. They hate each other, they love each other. It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Revenge. Like, a lot of the books lately have had some sort of revenge that they regret having revenge for. It's just jumbled. Especially, it bothers me because these men of the last couple of books, they're all giving this great advice, and, oh, you shouldn't be having revenge and this and that, but they're also actively giving into their desire to have revenge, and it seems very hypocritical. Like I said, it's just very copy paste, and it's getting boring, it's getting annoying. I just want a little bit of something different. It's very predictable, these books, at this point. She's got to stop having these characters kiss with their eyes open. Seriously, it's getting weird. As I said, the revenge thing very randomly was dropped into the story. What was also very random is, like, Gio randomly picked up on it too. She's like, I think he's mad at me. What is this? Like, he's not, like, I didn't do anything, right? And I'm like, how did you pick up on it midway through doing the nasty? It was all just very forced, very random, very off-putting. And then, like, she randomly picks up the fact that it's, like, about his sister, and I'm not going to go into details about it, but it is about his sister, and it's like, how did you pick that up? There was no inclination. Like, that's it pisses me off. It really does. How he would have found out all the details of what happened with his sister and why she did what she did is a little confusing. I mean, I'm sure he could find out some details, but all of it seems like it kind of was just unrealistic, or maybe I'm just reading too much into that part. But it just felt like, how did you know? You weren't in contact with her at the time of this occurrence, and all of a sudden you have every little detail mapped out. And it's just, I don't know, a little weird. But yeah, that's basically, I mean, that was the book. I wasn't crazy about it. I didn't hate it, didn't like it. It was just there. It was neutral. Well, I kind of disliked it. My favorite quote, there wasn't many. I had to kind of just pick one as I was reading. And I will look at my notes now. But Rick had said about Gio, she tried to stay in control, but she's a fiery, sassy ball of light that illuminates the dark corners of my life. And I think that's really sweet. But again, he said this before the whole revenge plot thing was dropped, which is why I was really annoyed, because it was very random. Very cute quote, though. I think it's sweet to say that somebody is lighting up the darkness in you. He definitely has darkness. He has some demons he has to kind of work through. But again, it was just, there was so much better opportunity to make this story great. I have to say, though, I liked seeing him kind of redeem himself with hockey. He did stop hockey for a really long time, and he just kind of wanted to redeem himself and like feel like he could do it. He can win the cup or whatever. And he did. So I think that was really cool. I'm not into hockey stories. Actually, it's the first hockey story I've ever read, and I really hope the any other ones that I read are much better. But it wasn't bad. Like the hockey aspect was pretty cool. That is it. That is like my review on the book itself. My favorite character, I think, I want to say it might actually be Geo. I also really like what's his name, Edward, the coach, which I believe his book is about next. But if I'm talking like main character wise, definitely Geo. Geo was, I felt was more realistic. She had her demons. She was working through them. She was afraid of relationships. She trusted this one guy. He broke her heart. Now she trusted Rick, and he broke her heart. So it was kind of one of those things, and it was interesting to see her perspective on it. I did like her. I liked seeing how she handled herself and the kind of person that she is. That is it for my book review. I know it's a short one. I think it's also because I'm going with no script and I don't have any notes, so it's very much like going off of memory, which I kind of like. It also makes it, you know, more fun to do this. And yes, I babble, and this is just probably going to be the new thing. I'm a babbler. We'll see. I'll see what people say. Let me know what you think. Which version of my book bowls do you like? In the comments, please. I'm curious. I want to make good content. I want to make entertaining content. And you guys are the people who will help me do that, because it's you guys that are watching it. I'm just recording. I get to talk about the things I've read. You guys are the ones that have to sit there and listen to me. What interests you more? Are there any things you would want me to add to my review, to talk about or take away? Like, please let me know. I am always looking for your thoughts on that. But overall, yeah, that is my review of The Ice Kiss by Steele. I wouldn't recommend it. It just doesn't seem like something I would waste my time on again. But I'm not going to tell you guys not to read it. If you're curious, go ahead, read it. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. I'm not going to judge you if you like it. It's just not my cup of tea. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next book review, which I believe, if I scheduled this right, I believe my next book review will be on Wings of a Devil by Luna Pierce, I believe. Because I'm forgetful as fuck. I said I was going to pull out new titles for the book bowl because I have about 2 books left to read, and I usually read them ahead and then schedule them to post. And even though I've been a bit behind lately, I'm still a little ahead of schedule, so I want to get started reading as soon as I can. So, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Sorry, I'm looking into 2 different cameras. And I also have my computer here just to see how many books are in the series, because if I get like 2 series and one has like 3 books and the other has like 8, I'm gonna pick out more. Okay. Let's get it pumping, shawty. I'm like really giving it a good. I can't seem to grasp a paper. Okay. The Favorite Girl series. So this has 2 books. These are psychological thrillers, so I'm excited. All right, let's get the next one. Sorry, I have child now. Where did I leave off on? The Favorite Girl. Okay. All right. Gonna be a. You distract me. What does it say, Aria? Firestarter by Stephen King. Are we getting like horror thriller thing going on? Maybe. Blackwell Beast series by Sadie Hunt. Let's see. Okay, so we'll stick with these 3 titles for now, because I have 3 from this series, 2 from this series, and then a solo book. And then I will just read those and we'll come back to it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. And like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell to be informed every time I post a new video. I am thankful for all the support, and you guys are amazing. See you guys next time. Bye.